Hi, by the way. Start out that way. It's about that time of the day where usually Layla will come out any minute now. And as soon as she comes out, usually and usually this is when they start fighting again. Hey babies. Hi buddy. Hi buddy. Hi. You okay, buddy? So I gotta make sure I'm out around this time of the day so I can break up any major fights between them. Pretty bird. Pretty bird. Come on, buddy. Actually, I need to make sure I don't forget. Go to Rocco's. Hi, Muffin. Hey, Chunky. See that? Right away. Look, anyhow. It's like they ramp up in the afternoon again. Start fighting again. As you can tell, Pretty Bert looks very beat up. Look at him. He is so beat up. It's ridiculous. Wings are completely exposed there. His feathers are all beat up. Baby, it's okay. Stop. Delta, stop. You guys need to be nice. You need to quit it. I wouldn't be surprised if I spotted Layla covering her eggs to come outside. And the fighting didn't start when Layla showed up. It didn't even start when she went to go sit on her eggs. It started. Oh no, you're not coming out yet? You usually come out around this time. What's up, Mama? Did you have enough feed and water next to you? You don't need to leave the eggs? Huh? Is that what's up, Mamas? Hi, beautiful. Hi, beautiful. How you doing? How your eggs doing? Hmm? Did you eat or did the chicken steal your food? There you go, Mamas. Get your num-nums, yes. There you go, babies. Yes, get your num-nums. I'll get you some more fresh water in a minute, too. Yes, Layla. You're a good girl, Layla. Yes, you are a good girl, Layla. There you go. You reach it? Yeah? You're such a sweet girl. Yeah. Yeah. I know you're thirsty. I do this 2-3 times a day. I could take a couple of bites, especially get a little bit of water, just to help her stay hydrated. Yeah, that's some good stuff. There you go. I'll put it right there, okay? You ready to come outside? You gonna cover the eggs up? Yep, she wants to cover them up. She'll get her eggs ready. Trying to set you guys up so you can see her. guys can see her work, hopefully. There-ish. Go. I'm gonna go grab her some more food. I'll be right back. Oh, there we go. Come on, guys, get out of here, chickens. Nope, I know you know the spoon. Let's go. Leave the goose alone. Come on. Let's go, little chickadees, chickadoos, chickadas. No. Go on, buddy. Go on. No, no. Your food is outside, Goofy. Let's go, bud. I don't want you stressing her. You guys know exactly what it looked like a minute ago. Does a decent job. Most of the time they're fully covered. Sometimes she doesn't fully cover them. I usually check on them just to make sure. Help her out a little bit. Now here's the thing. I move the food away when she goes out because otherwise it encourages the chickens to go over there. I don't want them to because they will start scratching, messing up her nest. Here we go, Layla stretching. And now the boys are most likely going to go crazy. Boys are going to spot her. They're going to be like, ooh, ooh, hey, how you doing? Want to hang out? At this point, Layla wants nothing to do with the boys. She doesn't want to mate anymore. She wants to be left alone. See how these guys team up? Always together, never apart. Those two are bonded with each other as well. But these guys are kind of confused about going back and forth between the African Ganders and Pretty Bird. Squirt is always with Pretty Bird. See, Charlie waits for him to catch up and answers him. Layla's running away from all the Ganders at this point. And then the boys go into the whole let me prove myself. Squirt, stop chasing her. That little goose is such a little mischief. So. Let her take her bath. Let her take her bath, Pretty Bird. Layla's having her daily snack. Slow down, Layla. Slow down, Mama. What? Will you quit it? Quit chasing her. Layla. Here you go. Pretty Bird, if you go over there, Squirt's gonna follow and she's gonna chase her. You get it? I'm trying to help Layla out a little bit. Slow down, Layla. I know you're trying to hurry. Come on, Layla. Layla. Come get some water. It's okay, Layla. Layla. I filled up this tub for you, too. Nice fresh water for you, Mama. So everybody likes to dump the water. Squirt, stop chasing her. Every day I deal with them fighting like crazy. And then when I go to record it to show you guys what's going on, of course, everybody's behaving for a change. Pretty bird. Pretty bird. Girls. Girls, leave her be. Come on, girls. I know what you're planning to do, ladies. He's not going to be successful. Don't worry. No offense, buddy, but she's done. She's not accepting any more suitors. And you look beat up. You need a spa day is what you need. Squirt. You're such a little butt. Oh, and I love how people try to tell me that my gander is not desperate to have a mate. What do you call that behavior? Do you call that normal? For him to chase down a female over and over and over again, desperately trying to get to her? I'm going to say he's desperate to have a mate. I mean, geez. What do you call that? He's trying to convince her to let him mate her, to be his mate right now. See? That's the only intention he has. And she has no intention of mating with anyone right now. And I don't blame her. She's done. She's got a headache, dude. She's not feeling up for it. Go ahead, Mama. Go ahead. Here, Layla. Layla, here. Here. Layla. Here. You take out the hose. There you go. Come on, Layla. Come on. Look. Nice and empty. Or you can use the other one. I got all the other little pools ready for you. You going back in? You done trying? Don't worry. I'll make sure you got food and water. All right, pretty bird. This time I'm kicking you out. Nope, 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 nope. Come here. I know you're going to get mad at me, but leave her be for just a moment. Give her a minute. Give her a minute. Give her a minute. I'm trying to let her have a minute. Let her have a minute. Let her have a minute. Do you want the numbs? Pretty bird, I know you're desperate, buddy. Come on. I know. I know I'm going to make you mad right now. You got to let her have a minute. Let her have a minute to clean herself. Let her have her bath. Let her have her bath. You need to go eat and stop being so hyper-focused on mating, buddy. Now he wants to take me with him. Dork. No. We're not doing it. No. No, boys. Nope. No. Both of you, no. Nope. You're not going to jump in there and attack him. Nope. Not happening. Nope. You guys have done plenty of damage and you guys don't fight. You do not fight fair. I don't care if you won or not. You didn't fight fair. Yeah. It's not okay to jump someone with a buddy when they're by themselves. Mm-mm. We're not doing that. There, go. Follow your girl. And all she wants is a darn bath. Boy, she's even been jumping out from those guys. She's just focusing on taking a bath. Oh, crap. Pretty bird, don't. I do think it's hilarious that people say that I subject or like put my human emotion on the animal. I think it's hilarious because I'm like, what do you call that? Is running after her, honking up a storm, trying to get her attention, trying to get her to say yes to mating. I mean, what else would you call that other than desperate to mate, desperate for a mate? You're beautiful, Layla. You know that? No wonder the boys are all smitten with you. Such a pretty girl. Such a good mama. Yes, Layla. I know, Mama. I know. I know the boys are stressing you out. Who's trying to take 5 minutes for herself? She's sitting on eggs. Pre-buds is like, okay, I got you. I got you, Layla. I'll be guarding this thing. I won't let him hurt you. He considers that water hose an enemy. His arch nemesis. Should make a cartoon out of it. The goose and the water hose. Yeah, you gonna come say hi? No? Got sidetracked by Layla? Oh, your other girls got it. The other girls are calling him. Yeah, you guys are coming over. Of course you are. Hi. God forbid Mama crouches down. He's got to come and try and get to my hair. Delta. I don't need a hairdo right now. Don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. No. No, I don't want it. He's such a good boy. I'm not a bad guy. And I love my boys. So I do. I love them all. Problem is that look at how pretty Bird looks. After all the fighting. And look at these guys. Because they work together. They're always together. Delta's the leader. Echo is the follower. Wherever Delta goes, Echo follows. Wherever Echo goes, Delta follows. Anything Delta does, Echo does. They even shared Layla. I mean, we're talking full-on bonded males. The two of them, like, completely bonded. To the extent where they're sharing a mate. Which is insane because they don't usually do that. Geese don't generally do that. It's usually one gander and either one female or a couple of females. And the problem is that back in the day, people decided to start manipulating their natural instincts and change the way that they function when it comes to mating. Because the natural instinct is to mate with one mate, to have one mate. So, say, a Canada goose, for an example, until this day, will have one gander as her mate. One gander will have one goose. Okay? So it'll be a monogamous relationship between two geese, right? But humans didn't want to deal with all the males and wanted to be able to, you know, kill and eat them. So what ended up happening is they started keeping one male to a higher number of females, keeping the gander that was most likely to be able to cover, or most likely to be willing to cover, all the females every mating season, so they could get the most amount of eggs with the most amount of females for breeding, but the least amount of protective ganders for them to deal with. Also meaning that every male that hatched would be able to be processed as meat. So now we have ganders who are not okay with having just one female. And I'm getting more and more of that information from other people where they're saying they had the right number between ganders and geese. They had, say, 6 ganders, 6 geese, and they were all paired. Yet the ganders weren't happy, and they wanted to take the geese from the other ganders away because they wanted to mate with, they wanted like a larger amount of geese to mate with. Hi, Layla. You ready to go back in, Mama? Hmm? Once you go back in, I'll come in with you and I'll get your stuff set up. Squirt, quit it. Hi, Layla. Hi, Layla. You okay, Mama? Yeah, you can stay with me. I won't bug you. Hi, Mamas. You're so pretty. You're doing a good job. Yes, you are. Don't do it, Blue. Blue's mad at me right now. She's been ignoring me all the time. She won't let me come anywhere near her, and she's been ignoring me. All right, so now these two ganders are fighting. And you'll notice that their fights are much more calm. It's more like a I'm dominant over you fighting, as in they're trying to decide which one is dominant over the other one, as in which one's the leader, which one's the follower. And their fights generally don't last very long. Most of it is it's more like a wrestling rather than a fight. Whereas with Pretty Bird, it goes in a full out punch and they'll push him into the corner. He can't get away. Pretty Bird, do not get involved. Eh? Notice how they never did punch each other with their wings? There was nothing. Nope, nothing. Completely fine. Got a feeling Lola's fixing to go outside soon. Also, honey, you guys got me? Tell him to go. Yeah, that's what I thought, Teriyaki. Like I've said before, ganders, because they do protect me. I do love them, and I do have a good relationship with the boys. We have our moments where I have to show them that I'm boss. They feel over the top, though. No. Ready to go inside, Layla? We ready? All right, Mama's going back inside on her eggs. I'm just gonna go check her eggs. I'm letting you guys see the entire process. All right, Pretty Bird got out of the pool. Good. Trying to make sure I keep supervising my boys too. There goes Layla. She goes back to her eggs. Oh, you chickens. Are you okay, Layla? I'm sorry, Mama. I know. I know. Let Mama see. Let Mama see. What they do? I should have checked on them. I should have made sure they were okay. Everything okay? Is everything okay? They're all here? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, you got them all here, Mama. They're all here. I know, I know. I know. Let's fix that nest of yours. Here. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Stuff keeps happening every time you leave for 5 minutes. The darn chickens come over here and mess with your nest. I'll get you more nesting material too, okay? Yes, we'll fix it up. We'll fix it up, Layla. We'll fix it up. Your eggs all look intact though, right? They're all good? Everything good there? Hmm? Nothing's been broken, right? The chickens didn't break any of them? That's good. Good mama. Good mama. Yes. I know, Layla, I know. Look at her. She's straight up actually standing on one of her eggs and it's not breaking. Talk about the eggshell being tough when it comes to goose eggs. And yes, I gave her eggs after she laid a total of 12 because I decided that that was plenty of eggs. And I did not want to push her to lay more eggs. I'm not trying to mass produce goslings here or anything like that. I was trying to protect her eggs from getting broke by the chickens because I knew they would do stuff like this. Hey, Layla. Now I just gotta wait for all the boys to calm down after Layla's been outside. And they've been all three trying to mate her, and hopefully everything will calm down and I'll be able to I'll be able to go out front and take care of the other chores that I have on my list today. Because I've been spending an insane amount of day outside trying to protect Pretty Bird and trying to protect Layla. I'm trying to just keep everything in order for them. Is you okay, Layla? Yeah. I find it interesting that then she starts grooming, standing over her eggs, right? And her eggs are like, look, the fact that she trusts me so much is crazy. But they're like lukewarm still. The fact that she lets me touch her eggs and that she doesn't get mad at me about it or anything is crazy to me because she hisses and bites at anybody else, including the geese and the kittens and everything else. But, and I think when she's grooming, she's also intentionally ripping out her down feathers because they do add the down to keep their eggs warmer down there and to help insulate. A goose who lets me help her with her nest. There are plenty of people who have geese. They have an amazing relationship with that goose. And they've raised that goose up from the day that they hatched. And they cannot get anywhere near their nest. And that has nothing to do with the goose not liking them or not trusting them. It's their normal natural instinct to only allow themselves and their mate to be at their nest. And I think since Layla is, first of all, was raised by humans, which helps, but second of all, the two African ganders who she did allow to mate her have shown zero interest in helping her with her nest or protecting her nest or helping her with her eggs. I think that since I've been giving her things like water and food a couple times a day, every day since she started sitting on her nest, she's kind of acknowledging me as a help. And she's okay with me coming over and helping her. Like almost like she sees me as like a gander substitute, like a helper, you know. Because it's hard work. She's gonna have to sit on these eggs for 30 days and try to hatch them out. So And yeah, we got 9 goose eggs down there. Right, Layla? Yeah, 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 yeah. And she keeps them nice and warm. She takes care of them very well. As you guys can tell, she has built a beautiful big nest. She's sacrificed a lot of her own down to try and help protect these babies. Good girl, Layla. And this is pretty much the process. Mama gets up, she'll go and she'll try to take in as much food as she can while she's up and about. And she'll do this for anywhere from 10 minutes to, from what I've seen with Layla, from 10 minutes to 30 minutes is the average. Somewhere in between those two. She'll run around, she'll eat, she'll take dips in the water, she'll drink as much water as she can, and then she will come back inside and she'll be wet, like her undercarriage, like she's moist, right? From bathing in the water, right? Now, when she sits back down, she'll still have that moisture, which will now up the humidity of the eggs. That's why it's so important that we add some water to our eggs when we are incubating goose eggs. That's why the process of letting the goose eggs cool down every day and the process of adding water to the eggs every day is so important, because in nature, when they're naturally incubated, it's exactly what mom does. Mom goes out, she gets in a pool, in a lake, in a river, whatever. She gets really wet. She comes back to the nest. She kind of dries off a little bit, but then she sits down and then she starts incubating her with her heat. Her body heat will elevate that temperature, and it creates humidity with. Right, mamas? Yeah. You just follow your instincts and you know exactly what to do. Yes, you do. You're doing such a good job, mamas. Yes, you are. You're doing such a good job. Layla is an American buff goose. She's a show quality level goose. So she is an exceptional beauty. She's absolutely gorgeous. She's got an amazing temperament. She's a purebred, show quality American buff. And that's really not what I didn't care if they were show quality, what she looked like. I was trying to find a mature female. Pretty bird, ironically, and then the African Ganders took over. And she accepted them instead of him. It happens. So pretty. This is so soft, guys. It's like the only way I can compare it to like the softness of it is kind of like a bunny. Like the softness is insane with these geese. And this is the only time she'll usually get up in the day. Just to 10 to 30 minutes, eat, drink, come back in, sit back down, and continue incubating her babies. And she'll do that for 30 days. And geese will lose a substantial amount of weight. They will lose a lot of weight while they do this. Because the only reason why they're eating is just for survival. But she'll just be taken from her reserves the whole time. And I didn't watch the time this time around. I wasn't paying attention to how long she was outside. but if I had to guess, I'd say probably somewhere around 15 minutes or so today. The very first time she went out, right as she was in the process of getting broody, she went out for, I want to say, a good almost an hour. She was out for a good 45 minutes off the eggs. And so this is how much water I give her next to her nest, by the way. And the reason I give her this water is so that she has something to take sips from. You want some more? Is that good? Yeah. Some fresh water. You all done? No, not yet. Up the other geese or separating them somehow so that she can go and take baths and stuff in peace and eat in peace. Um, because the ganders are just chasing her around trying to mate with her, and she's not interested in mating anymore. She's now broody. She's a mama. She has no other priorities right now. Her priorities are her eggs, and that is it. She doesn't want to be mated. She doesn't want to be courted. She wants to be left alone. She wants to incubate her eggs, and let's go grab your food, mama. Go grab your num-nums. Excuse me, chicken. You guys always make a mess. Hmm? Here. There you go. You guys can have that. Eat it up. Don't know what I did. Can I just keep one? It's a good thing I always have a scooper on me. I know. I'm so funny. Excuse me. Where is it? Where is it? I know I have it somewhere. Where is it? Layla has some replenishing to do. She's put a lot of energy that she's put into creating those eggs. And ever since she started laying, hold on, I gotta set you guys down for just a second. Ever since she started laying, I've been working on. I've been trying to make sure that I put oyster shells in her food, in her feed, so that she gets her calcium. And I just eyeball it, to be honest. And they can seep out what they want to eat and what they don't want to eat much better than most people would think. Here you go, Layla. Here you go, Layla. You want some? Oh, I'm not going to set it down. No, you're busy. Sit down. Here you go, Mama. Look, now she does her butt wiggle. She's officially back on a nest and is not going to be budging. Now she's going to draw everything back in. She's going to grab stuff from the edges, and she's going to start just building this nest back up around the corners and get everything very nicely insulated. So she'll make sure that her heat gets trapped in here so that her eggs can properly incubate at the right temperatures. Right, Layla? Huh, mamas? Hi, Layla. And she'll get it all right, exactly how she wants it. She's going to move them eggs. She's going to turn them. She's going to work on the nest. She's going to work on herself. And she does this, like, based on what I could tell, it seems like she does it every about, like, 30 minutes to an hour or so. She'll, like, get up for a second and like turn the eggs or something, probably about every hour, probably 45 minutes or so. And I'm guessing over here. But a lot of times when I'm out here working and stuff, I can see her getting up and just doing it over and over again. And she'll randomly reposition an egg and she'll work on like one or two eggs. Maybe change the way she's been sitting, change the direction she's sitting in. I mean, she's literally sitting here for hours just staring at a wall. The poor thing. Now, trust me, if I owned this property, I'd be doing things, much more things to make her comfortable. One of the things I've thought about doing, and y'all tell me if you think this is stupid, and I wouldn't add it unless she's outside at that moment, but I thought about building like a little wooden lip to put around her nest, like just taking a couple of pieces and creating like a square that's just big enough to fit in here, right? And then just placing it in here so that it surrounds the nest, and not very high, just like not higher than the actual nest itself. And to basically prevent the chickens from being able to just like rip away at the nest and just start destroying it like this. You know what I mean? Because they keep doing that. Every time she leaves, they do that. And I want to make sure that she can keep her nest safe. So that's one of my ideas. But I don't know if that's a good idea or not, because I also don't want to stress her out or something by changing the environment that she has built her nest in, because this is how she chose to have her nest, where she chose to have her nest, for whatever reasons. Here you go, Mama. You want some? Not right now? Okay. It's okay. It's right there for when you want it, okay? You know where it is. You know where it is. Yes, you do. Mama loves you, Layla. Mama loves you, Layla. Yes, I do. All right. You're a good girl. You take care of them eggs, okay? I'll be here again in a little while, couple hours, to come give you some more water and food again. Anyway, that's that. Layla's taken care of. I need to close the oyster shells, otherwise the chickens will make a mess. And I'll put down like, you see, like right now, there's a lot of oyster shells mixed into the food at this time. Reason why is because I'll put down like a larger amount every couple of days, and then they can kind of peck away at it. And like at this point, because they've already eaten all of the food that was on that tray, I will then go. They're still over here. And yes, I've got cleaning to do in my barn. Fully aware of it. Get it done soon. I'll go grab some feed. And the chickens will peck away at whatever they want. So, like right here, right? Look at you guys. Always going everywhere together, are we? Huh? Why am I not surprised? Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Thing one and thing two. Yes. You two goofies. My two goofies. Yes, my goofy boys. Keep in mind, you don't ever want to touch a goose that you don't know, because every goose has a different personality, has a different way of communicating with you. Every goose has a different level of wanting to be approached. Even though all of the geese that you're seeing right now, those two, this one, and that one are all hand raised by me, they each have a different level of how much they like me to touch them, or whether or not they like me to cuddle with them. So, like her, she's a medium. She'll nibble on my hand here and there. She might let me pet her chest a little bit. But when she doesn't want to, you can see she'll walk away, right? I can't like grab at her or like do big pets or just shove her into my like chest or something and like hold on to her. Him, he can sometimes be a butt because of the hormones, but right now, like him, I'm much more likely to be able to pet him and stuff. Now he'll nip at me and stuff like that. He's not biting down hard most of the time. He's just doing that because that's what he does. I've had him for almost 4 years now. I hatched him, and so I'm all he knows. He's known me his whole life, and I know him very well. Um, Blue, on the other hand, right here, this one, and I'll show you what happens if I try to approach her. Hey, Blue. Hey, Blue. Come here. Blue. Come on, Blue. Blue. Notice something? She doesn't even stop. She doesn't even try. Pretty bird. Hi, buddy. Hi. Notice how I can approach him. She will stay away from me. She doesn't like being touched. That's just her thing. She doesn't attack me. She's not mean to me. She responds to me. She knows her name. She trusts me. She doesn't like being touched. You know what I mean? And the two African ganders, very similar to Pretty Bird, not the full extent of it, but there's a pretty close relationship with them. Now, those are also farm animals, so the likelihood of being able to tame them down is a little bit higher. But the point I'm trying to make is that even in the goose world, a lot of people tend to think that because they're birds, they're somehow not individuals. And when I say this, I'm not trying to humanize them. I'm not trying to say that they're, you know what I mean, identical to humans or something like that. What I'm trying to say, look at that squirrel right there twitching its tail away. You see it sitting right there on that post? Hi, babies. Hi, babies. Hi, cutie pie. You're a big mama, aren't you? Yeah, you're a big mama. You're a cutie pie. Hi. Hi, babies. I'm pretty sure that's the same squirrel that's been curious lately and getting pretty darn close. I'm wondering if she's figuring out that I won't hurt her. Hi, babies. It's like she's trying to play. Hi, cutie pie. You're okay. I'm not going to chase you. Do your thing. You do your thing. Yep, I'm the one that randomly puts a couple of treats in the trees for you guys. Look at cutie pie. Pretty cool. I'm only standing like maybe, I don't know feet very well, but like I'm not far from her or him, whichever it is. Hey, babies. Cutie pie. Trying to find treats. Ah, found a snack. We found a snack. Sitting up there eating. Anyway, did I mention I like wildlife? Anyways, what I was going to get at was that the whole point that I'm trying to make, what I'm trying to show with my channel is that one, geese are not mindless, aggressive animals like a lot of people try and make them out to be. Just like any cat, dog, or goat, or horse, or any other animal that you have had in your life or that you've loved or gotten to know. Hi, squirrel. You the same one? Did you go around my house? Went over the roof to go around and then go on this tree. They love using this tree to go along that way. Anyway, just like every dog has a different personality and a different temperament, so does every goose. And we can do what we can for them to learn. And regardless of whether or not you think that they have any kind of individuality, the animal itself is capable of cause and effect knowledge, just like in the wild. They learn that a certain animal, poses a threat because they've seen that animal kill another, because their parents have sounded alarm when that animal has been around. They understand cause and effect. They can learn, right? The same way these animals in captivity, like chickens, much smarter than you think they'd be. Geese and all these other animals can also learn from cause and effect. Very basic knowledge that we know that animals learn and understand cause and effect. And yes, my flock usually follows me around most of the time. Anyway, so the point I'm trying to make is that there is individuality between the different geese. There are different personalities. A goose that you might have never known and that you just recently got, in my case, this happened with Layla, might turn out to trust you so much that they let you interact with them and their nests and their eggs and help them. Whereas a goose that you might raise from scratch might just not want to be handled. And there can be many different reasons. Now, is it possible that my two Canada geese don't like being handled because when they were goslings, and by the way, they have exceptional memories and they imprint. When they were goslings, they had part of their wings clipped off by a human because that's something that's part of the law is that they have to be marked in some permanent fashion when they live in captivity and are bred in captivity. And could it be that that's why they don't really like being handled by humans? Sure. Could it be that their wild instincts are just a little bit stronger and they're more drawn to, you know, having that distance, prefer not having humans interfere with them too much? Yeah, sure, that could be it as well. It also could just be individual personalities, which is what I think it is. I think it's just individuality, their own perception, their own cause and effect that they've observed throughout their lives and what they remember. Pretty much you can. What are you doing, Blue? That was like the strangest thing, you weirdo. What are you looking at? You see a bird flying? Oh, funny fact, geese, when they're curious, will do the same head tilt that we love so much in German Shepherds. Just saying. Just look for it. You'll see it happening. They just sideways. They just look sideways at things that they're curious about. And they'll do so too if they're looking straight at you. Like without there being a sky above, if you're in a room and there's nothing on the ceiling and you're just talking to them and they're looking straight at you and you're saying something, sometimes they will turn their heads while they're watching you, trying to figure out what you're doing. You know what I mean? Anyway, but the big point I'm trying to make is that like just because you see me interacting with my geese the way that I do does not mean that if you go and get a gosling and feed it and water it that it's just going to be like super lovey-dovey and love you, or that it's going to be super mean and bite you. There's literally like a huge spectrum of different personalities within these animals that they might end up being like, you guys want a treat? I totally forgot I brought a treat outside. Anyway, and that's another thing. Talking about cause and effect. My birds immediately know that the plastic bag, if I pull it out and I call them over, it means that I've got treats. Everybody will come lining up. You go, Blue. Hold on, guys. Let me get it out. I can't even get it out. Look at you guys. No patience. They know that they can get into the bag. Hey, that's my face. I'm stealing everything. It's just so ungrateful. Yes, I know. I failed at teaching them manners. Excuse you. You have an appointment. There we go. Here you go, Bibis. Here you go, Bibis. Here you go, Blue. Oh, and they have taste preferences. Blue prefers to eat the stem of the kale, whereas the African ganders don't really care. They'll eat whatever, but they kind of prefer more the leaves, but they'll eat the stems as well. Charlie usually prefers the leaves, but she's not that into kale, interestingly enough. It's Pretty Bird. He's all about them leaves, and he loves his kale. It's probably his favorite thing in the world. Hey, Squirt. Squirt! And of course the chickens love food. And Nugget is one of the geese. She sure is. You go, pretty bird. Come on, buddy. Num num num. Get your num nums. And he knows that when I say, I got your num nums, or come get your num nums, he knows what I'm saying. Like, he'll come running because he's figured out over time that I will use the term num nums whenever I'm about to give them food. Or like, he had learned whenever I used to take him for walks when we still lived in Arizona, he had learned that when I said up, it meant that he was supposed to get up on the sidewalk when we were walking next to the road. And he would actually not get on the road. And if he did, or we got off the road, every single time we went up on the sidewalk, I would say up, and he would go up on the sidewalk. I also used it for when I was getting ready to pick him up. And to give you guys to understand how much they can recognize words, let me give you guys an example. Whenever I say a certain word that refers to my husband, Pretty Bird, who by the way knows his name, like starts looking for him. Hey, Pretty Bird, go get Daddy. Where's Daddy? Tell me his behavior didn't just change. You see Daddy? Notice how he's looking? He knows exactly who that is. Where'd he go? All right, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. I usually don't do that. I know I usually don't do that, but I'm proving something, okay? Pretty Bird. I know you want you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll check if he'll come out later, okay? I'll see if he'll come see you, okay? I'll see if he'll come see you soon, okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now he's gonna get mad at me because he knows I just lied to him. Anyways, so I hope I made my point. It makes it clear that he does recognize it when I say that word. He knows exactly who I'm talking about. And yeah. And to finish off the thought that I had started forever ago, hey, that's just me. Setting out a goose at a pond or at a lake or at a river in the wild or in a town or in a small town or in a city, wherever. Even if you think, hey, humans come here and feed them bread all the time, which bread, by the way, has zero nutritional value and actually causes them to have issues. I don't even feed my geese bread in captivity, not even a little bit, because there are many risks that are associated with feeding geese bread. Like my geese don't recognize bread as being a treat or food or anything. But these animals that I've raised in captivity, their chances of surviving in the wild are next to zero. Even if you see them surviving for a period of time, they're usually dealing with extreme nutrient deficiency. They're usually underweight. You just don't see it because of all their feathers. And birds are exceptional, just professionals at hiding sickness. They're prey animals, guys. They're not going to show you that they're sick or that they're suffering or that they're struggling. And there's literally no difference between setting a dog out and saying, well, they're related to werewolves, to wolves, so they can survive in the wild, right? So dogs can survive in the wild. It's literally the exact same thing to take a bird that's been raised in captivity or was born in captivity that doesn't have parents to teach it and to set it out in the wild and expect them to survive. Same thing. You guys got something to say about it? Yeah? All right. It doesn't matter if they're a species or a breed like these guys that commonly live in the wild. It has nothing to do with it. These animals were still descendants of domesticated Canada geese that have been domesticated for generations. And these animals would have a very low chance of surviving in the wild, not just because their wings have been clipped, but because they didn't have any parents teaching them about survival. There are some instincts that come natural, and there are some that don't. The migration instinct, sure, comes natural, but the direction does not come natural. That's something they learn from their flock, from their parents, from their family members, from their friends, from the people that are involved in, well, people, from the geese that are involved in raising them, that they have around them, that they're imprinted on. That's not something that they just know. So when you take a goose out of the wild and you say, hey, I'm just going to set it free when it's fully grown, what you're not realizing is that that goose would actually still be following their parents until at least about a year of age. Until they're about a year old, at least, they would be following their parents around and learning from their parents about where to fly, where to go, where not to go, what to be scared of, what to do, like what not to do, what to eat, what not to eat, what are the kind of resources they can find, safe places to hide, safe places to nest, safe places to sleep, how to react with different predators, how to defend themselves. There's so much that they learn from their parents that, especially migration routes, that they won't know when you're releasing them when they're 3, 4 months old, thinking that they're fully grown, so they must be adults, but in all reality, they're not. Canada geese, for an example, the earliest a female will ever mate and have eggs is 2 years old. Until then, they're still learning. They're not ready yet. They're not mature yet. They're not fully ready. And 2 is like the absolute youngest. More commonly, they will nest between the ages of 3 and 4. But the general span where they'll nest is anywhere between 2 and 4, where they will mate and nest. So I just want to discourage people from wanting to take animals, goslings, or eggs out of the wild, raising them as their own, regardless of whether or not your intention are to keep them or to set them out. Besides the point that it's a federal offense, and it is illegal to do that. But also, these animals, even if you set them free, they've got a really low chance of survival. And they didn't learn anything that they needed to learn, and they still needed guidance. And just because they fly off with another flock or follow another flock doesn't mean that flock will accept them. This is a stranger coming in. Geese, I mean, right now, Layla, the goose I added over a month ago, is barely tolerated by some of my geese, especially my Canadas. My Canadas don't like her. These two, and my little cackling right there, they don't like her. They don't like Layla. Pretty birds, fairly nice to her, and these two have decided to mate with her. Most likely the reason she was accepted by the boys, though, is because she was a mature female who they were capable of mating with. It actually is, there's a process to being accepted into a flock. And you can't just take a random goose and throw it onto a lake and expect that them to just fit into that flock that resides there or is stopping by there, and that they're just going to be accepted with them and get to go with them wherever they're going and be part of their buddy system and part of their survival system. It's very unlikely. Not that it doesn't happen, but it's very unlikely. And most animals that are set out, they die within a short period of time. Most animals that we abandon, ducks, geese, chickens, whatever, they generally will die within a short period of time. There are some that survive and will procreate in the wild, where their instincts are strong enough and their survival abilities are strong enough where they get lucky and they figure things out on their own. Not to mention they struggle a lot and suffer a lot during that process, but sure, some of them do figure it out and they'll survive for a couple of years. Most of them do not survive for that long, but they'll survive for a period of time before they're then taken out by a predator that they didn't know about or succumb to weather or bacteria, viruses. You know, it, I'm just trying to let you guys know the reality of it, because a lot of people will take in goslings and eggs around this time of the year. And I did make a couple of short videos. There's a total of 4 where I explain to you guys how you can recognize whether or not a goose nest might be abandoned, and also how you can recognize why it likely isn't abandoned, and what you should do if you do find a nest that you believe is abandoned, whether or not you should take the eggs, whether or not you should, you know, take the goslings, whether or not you should interfere with that situation. Like, You're growing in your new feathers? Are you finally growing in your new feathers? Your wings are a mess. And that's the African ganders, too. Anyways, like I said, if anybody's curious about that stuff, or you got a friend who says that they think they might have found something, or they think they might have seen something, or they think that maybe there's a nest that's abandoned that's somewhere on a route that they know of or something, please show them the videos. I'm not trying to get darn views from it. I'm not monetized. I'm not making any profit from this. I'm doing this because it's a hobby, because I enjoy it, and because I'm trying to put information out there. Will I ever monetize? I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a try. I don't know, but that's never been the goal. That's never been the focus. The focus was always to let people know that just because it's a Canada goose doesn't mean it's evil, and that they're not mindless attackers. Though I do joke about them being our overlords. Um, they're not these like mindless wild animals, and when they've been, raised in captivity, the chances of them integrating back into the wild are so significantly low. You know, that's why you should always reach out to somebody who legally is allowed to take in a wild animal and legally allowed to rehabilitate them. Um, so that and in some cases, you might even find yourself being able to sign up to become a rehab. Like you can like sign up to become someone's like underling, basically, in a way. From my understanding, that's how it works here in Texas. I'm working on doing that kind of stuff right now. Um, so that like you basically have a rehabber who's already graduated and who's a full rehabber and has the full extent of everything, right? And that person kind of becomes your mentor, right? And if you do that, you could there'd be certain animals that you'll be allowed to take in with their guidance and stuff, and you'll be supporting them. You'll be under their wing, and you'll be educating yourself, and you'll be working up to being able to help rehabilitate animals and all that. And I don't know all the details of how it works, but you never know. You might be able to volunteer with somebody who's maybe maxed out or something. Like if you have a rehabber next door or somebody who lives on your street or something like that, go ask him. Go find out. Hey, is there a way that I can help rehabilitate these animals and learn about it? Like, I think that there's some goslings that might be abandoned or might need help, or there's an injured one that's in this one family and it's struggling. Can I bring it into you? Because not every rehabber is licensed to rehabilitate Canada geese. Keep that in mind too. Just because somebody's a legal rehabber doesn't mean they're a legal rehabber for Canada geese, because those are migratory birds. That's a federal level. That's a different animal. So like there are different rehabbers for different animals. So like don't and make sure you communicate with them. Make sure that you look around. Make sure you talk to them. Now, from my understanding, in Texas, they have like a grace period. The way that rehabber had explained it to me, the one that I spoke to, um, she said that basically, if you're not licensed to rehabilitate Canada geese federally, they're basically not allowed to keep them for long-term rehabilitation. But say like if the animal only needs a 24-hour help out, like say they had fishing lines stuck on them, they got caught, they can go ahead and take it off, let them spend the night and release them the next day where they were found, that kind of stuff. From what she said, that's like pretty much the extent of what she's allowed to do as somebody who isn't permitted in specifically Canada geese, and wardens have brought them to her where she's had to do things like that, but she cannot keep them or do any kind of rehabilitation past 5 or 7 days or something. Anyways, now I don't know. This is word of mouth information, so I don't know how much of that could be misunderstood or miscommunicated, misunderstood by me potentially, which is totally possible. But it's important to talk to the people locally. If you tend to find animals a lot, or you have maybe a cat or a dog that tends to dig up bunnies or something, you know what I mean? Like, get to know your local rehabber. Find out if they accept those kind of animals. You can, get a hold of them whenever something happens, or if they know which one does accept that kind of animal. What's it, Papas? Are you coming? What are you doing? You following me like you used to? Huh? Huh? I know. Mama loves you too, Pitbull. Mama loves you too, Pitbird. Look, everybody else coming too. Mama loves you too, Pitbird. But Mama needs to go in the front yard and go work. Mama loves you, Hibbert. He wants me to go get my husband because I told him about my husband now. This is what he'll do. He'll become restless now. Anyway, so enough blabbing on and talking about stuff like that. I was just trying to, put out the word again, re-mention these things because these things are just so common lately. And I will see you guys later. All right? Y'all have a great day. I guess the Ganders decided to be nice today. So, hallelujah to that one. No giant fights today so far, but I'll be in the front yard. I'll be paying attention. So if anything happens, I'll be back in a second to come and make sure that they don't go too hard on Pretty Bird. Because they are teaming up against him. And they are doing some serious damage on him, as you can see. That's with me interfering. That's not me letting them. This is with me interfering. This is how bad it's getting. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll see y'all next time. Bye. You say bye-bye? Uh-huh. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Hey, babies.